My child, before you rush into another busy day, I want you to stop for just a moment and listen to my voice. I know your mind has been racing long before the sun came up. Even while your body was trying to rest, your thoughts kept working overtime. You have been thinking about tomorrow's meeting, next month's bills, your family's future, your health, and the responsibilities that seem to grow heavier every single day. You tell yourself that if you think hard enough, plan carefully enough, and work longer than everyone else, maybe you can finally find peace. But instead of peace, you have found exhaustion. I have watched you wake up already feeling tired because your mind has been living in a future that has not even happened yet. While your hands are making breakfast, your thoughts are somewhere else. While you're driving to work, you're imagining conversations that haven't taken place. While you're sitting at your desk, you're already worrying about what could go wrong tomorrow, next week, or even next year. Without realizing it, you have allowed tomorrow to steal the strength I gave you for today. You live in a culture that constantly tells you to prepare for everything, achieve more, save more, earn more, and never fall behind. There is wisdom in planning, but there is danger in believing that your future depends entirely on your ability to control every outcome. You have carried that pressure for so long that it now feels normal. You rarely notice how tightly your shoulder stays tense or how often you take shallow breaths because your heart has become accustomed to carrying burdens it was never designed to hold. There are nights when the entire house is quiet, yet your mind refuses to be still. Everyone else is asleep, but you lie awake staring into the darkness, replaying every mistake, calculating every expense, and wondering whether you're doing enough. You wonder if your children will be okay, if your marriage will survive another difficult season, if your career will remain secure, or if one unexpected phone call could change everything. These thoughts arrive one after another, like waves crashing against the shore, leaving you emotionally exhausted before the next morning even begins. My beloved child, I never intended for fear to become your daily companion. I did not create you to spend today grieving over a tomorrow that only exists inside your imagination. I know you believe that worrying somehow prepares you, but worry has never changed the future. It only steals the joy, the strength, and the peace that I wanted you to experience today. If you are listening to these words, I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You do not have to carry tomorrow by yourself, because I am already there. You often ask me to show you the entire path before you take the first step. You want certainty before obedience. You want guarantees before trust. You want to know how every problem will be solved before you allow yourself to breathe again. I understand why you feel that way, because life has disappointed you before. There were seasons when you believed everything would work out, only to watch your plans fall apart. There were people who promised they would stay, but they left. There were opportunities you prayed for that never came. Those experiences quietly taught you to believe that if you stayed alert enough, maybe you could prevent future pain. But my child, not everything that happened to you was meant to become the foundation of how you live the rest of your life. Pain may explain your fear, but it does not have to control your future. Some of you are carrying financial pressure that nobody else knows about. You smile through conversations while secretly wondering how you'll make the next mortgage payment, or whether your savings will be enough if something unexpected happens. Some of you feel trapped in jobs that slowly drain your spirit because you're afraid of losing the security you've worked so hard to build. Others are trying to care for children while also worrying about aging parents, feeling pulled in every direction until there seems to be nothing left for yourselves. I have seen every silent sacrifice. I have seen the moments when you skipped buying something for yourself because your family needed it more. I have seen you sit in your car after work, gathering enough strength to walk inside your home with a smile, even though your heart felt overwhelmed. I have seen every tear you wiped away before anyone else noticed. You think you have to keep everything together because you're afraid that if you stop, everything around you will fall apart. But listen carefully to what I am saying. The universe has never depended on your strength. It has always been sustained by mine. The future that frightens you is not unknown to me. I have already seen every sunrise you have not yet experienced. I know the doors that will open, the people who will encourage you, the opportunities that are still on their way, and even the seasons that will challenge you. Nothing about your tomorrow catches me by surprise. That does not mean every day will be easy. It means you will never walk through any day without my presence. There is a difference. Think about a little child walking through a crowded place. The child does not know where every road leads or what lies around the next corner. The child is calm because they trust the hand holding theirs. That is the kind of relationship I desire with you. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust the one who already does. Every time fear whispers that your future is falling apart, remember this truth. Your future is not in the hands of the economy, your employer, or your circumstances. Your future rests safely in my hands, and my hands have never failed those who trust me. One day, as people gathered around me, I looked into faces that were not very different from yours. They worried about food, clothing, money, their families, and whether tomorrow would provide enough to survive. They carried many of the same fears that keep your heart awake today. So I spoke words that have echoed through generations because they reveal a truth that never changes. I said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Those words were never an invitation to ignore responsibility. They were an invitation to stop living as though worry has the power to protect you. Then I asked them to look at the birds. They wake each morning without barns full of supplies or guarantees about the next day. Yet your heavenly Father feeds them. I pointed to the wildflowers growing across the hillsides. They do not spend their days trying to impress anyone, yet they are clothed in beauty that even kings could not match. If I care so deeply for birds and flowers that bloom for only a short season, how much more do you think I care about you? My child, you are not forgotten. You are not another face in a crowd. You are not another number in a world of billions. I know your name. I know the prayers you whispered when no one else could hear them. I know the dreams you stopped talking about because disappointment made them too painful to mention. The life I have prepared for you cannot be built on constant fear. It must be built on trust. Worry keeps your eyes fixed on everything that could go wrong. But faith allows you to see that I have been faithful through every season you have already survived. If I carried you through yesterday's impossible moments, why would I abandon you tomorrow? So today, I am asking you to loosen your grip on tomorrow and place your confidence in me. You do not need to know every answer before taking the next step. You only need to know that I am already waiting for you in every tomorrow you fear, my child. I know that surrender sounds frightening to you because the world has taught you that letting go means losing. You have been told that if you stop pushing, someone else will get ahead. If you stop worrying, you'll become careless. If you stop carrying every responsibility, everything around you will begin to fall apart. But that is not how my kingdom works. True surrender is not quitting. It is finally releasing the burden of trying to be in control of things that were never yours to control. Think about how much energy you spend every single day trying to predict what hasn't happened yet. You replay conversations before they take place. You imagine worst-case scenarios before any evidence exists. You prepare yourself for disappointments that may never come. Your body is sitting in today, but your mind is living in a future filled with fear. No wonder you feel exhausted. You have been fighting battles that do not even exist yet. There is a reason I created mornings one day at a time. I could have given you the strength for your entire lifetime all at once, but I didn't. Instead, I give you enough grace for today because I never intended for you to carry tomorrow's weight before tomorrow arrives. Look back over your own life for a moment. There were seasons you believed you would never survive. There were phone calls that changed everything, unexpected losses that left you speechless, moments when you sat alone asking if life would ever feel normal again. Yet here you are. You may still carry some scars, but you are standing because I carried you through every chapter you thought would be your last. The same God who was faithful then has not changed today. Sometimes you keep asking me for a detailed map of your future, but I keep offering you my hand instead. A map only shows a destination. My hand gives you my presence. One can become outdated when the road changes. The other never leaves your side. I never promised that every road would be smooth. I promised that you would never walk alone. That promise is stronger than any circumstance. My child, I see the pressure you have placed on yourself. You believe you have to be the perfect parent, the perfect spouse, the perfect employee, the perfect provider, and the perfect Christian. Every time you fall short of those impossible standards, you quietly condemn yourself. You speak to yourself with a harshness you would never use towards someone you love. But I do not speak to you that way. When you stumble, I do not turn away in disappointment. I reach toward you with compassion. I am not counting your failures. I am shaping your character. I am not measuring your performance. I am transforming your heart. You have confused perfection with faithfulness. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to trust me. There are blessings waiting in your future that cannot be received by hands tightly closed around fear. Some people pray for peace, and while refusing to release their anxiety, others ask me to guide them while insisting on controlling every step. But peace begins the moment trust becomes greater than fear. Imagine carrying a heavy suitcase through an airport for hours, even though a baggage cart is standing only a few feet away. People would wonder why you keep struggling when help is available. Yet many of my children live exactly that way. They continue carrying emotional burdens that I have invited them to place into my hands. Today, I am inviting you to stop carrying what I already died to carry for you. Your future does not depend on the amount of fear you can produce. It depends on my faithfulness. And my faithfulness has never failed. Right now, wherever you are, I want you to stop for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Allow your heart to become still. Now imagine placing every fear you've been carrying into my hands. Picture your financial worries, your unanswered questions, your family concerns, your career uncertainty, your hidden disappointments, and every burden that has quietly stolen your peace. You do not have to pretend that those things don't exist. Simply stop believing that you were meant to carry them alone. I have been waiting for this moment, not because I only now noticed your pain, but because I have always been ready to help. I have walked beside you through every lonely night, every anxious morning, every silent tear, and every prayer that ended with the words, God, I don't know what to do anymore. I heard every one of them, and I never left. 1 year from now, Many of the things keeping you awake tonight will no longer have the power they have today. Some problems will be solved in ways you cannot imagine. Some closed doors will make sense only after new ones open. Some delays will become the very reason you discover blessings that would have been impossible any other way. Trust my timing. It is never late. It is never rushed. It is always working for a purpose greater than what you can see. My child, stop measuring your future by today's emotions. Fear is loud, but it is not truthful. Anxiety is persuasive, but it is not your guide. Let my voice become louder than every fearful thought that has been living inside your mind. When tomorrow arrives, I will already be there waiting for you, just as I have been waiting in every yesterday you survived. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are deeply loved. Before we finish, I want you to do something that takes courage. If this message spoke to your heart, write these simple words in the comments. God, I trust you with my tomorrow. Let that be more than a comment. Let it become your prayer. And if someone came to your mind while listening to this message, a friend, a family member, a co-worker, or someone who has been carrying invisible burdens, share this video with them. You may never fully know how much hope a single message can bring to a heart that has been quietly breaking. Finally, remember this truth every time fear tries to steal your peace. You do not have to know what tomorrow holds, because the one who holds tomorrow is already holding you. Go into your day with courage, rest in my promises, and never forget that my love will always arrive before your fear does.